Today I'd like to talk to you about how cultivating Christ-like attributes in our lives can help lead us to that place of deep and enduring joy, even amidst life's troubles. The Bible tells us that true joy comes from living according to eternal spiritual principles, not from temporary earthly pleasures or circumstances. In Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, it lists the fruit of the Spirit as being love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. When we live according to these Christ-like attributes, allowing God's Spirit to transform and guide us, it leads to a joy that the world cannot take away. Let's dive into some of these attributes in more detail and explore how developing them can help us experience lasting joy each and every day. Love. The epitome of all the attributes is love. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 1-8, the Bible describes love as being patient, kind, not envious or boastful, not arrogant or rude. True love does not insist on its own way and is not irritable or resentful. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. When we love God with all our heart, soul and mind and love others in the same selfless, Christ-like way, it brings us profound joy even in difficult times. Loving others as Jesus loved us, unconditionally, fills our hearts with compassion, peace and purpose. Kindness. Proverbs 11:17 tells us, "A kind man benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself." When we make the choice each day to be kind in our words and actions towards others, it uplifts both them and ourselves. We lift heaviness from burdened hearts and spread goodwill. Countless studies have shown that acts of kindness release feel-good hormones in our brains like serotonin and oxytocin, improving both our physical and mental health. A kind heart finds joy in bringing a smile to another's face and easing their troubles, no matter the cost. Goodness. Doing good and seeking to bless the lives of others in tangible ways, without expectation of reward, follows the example of Jesus. We are called in Galatians 6:10 to do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. When we use our gifts, talents, and resources to lift those around us up through compassionate service, it breeds within us a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and deep satisfaction. We find joy in being instruments of God's goodness in the lives of others. Patience. In this fast-paced world where instant gratification is expected, cultivating patience is key. But the fruit it bears is sweet, the calmness of wisdom, as Martin Luther King Jr. once said. When we wait on God's perfect timing, rather than impatiently demanding our own way, and extend patience to others through active listening and understanding without reaction or judgment, it leads to greater peace, understanding, and joy. Isaiah 40:31 promises, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength." Patience sees the whole picture rather than just the moment and allows lasting joy to root deeply within. Gentleness. In contrast to an attitude that is harsh, rude, arrogant, or domineering, cultivating gentleness involves leading with humility, respect, tact, and grace in all our interactions. Proverbs 15:1 tells us that a gentle answer turns away wrath. When challenged with conflict or offense, meeting it gently and peaceably helps diffuse tension and leads to resolution. A gentle spirit soothes both giving and receiving, breeds compassion over reaction, and experiences joy through reconciliation. Self-control. In a world of instant gratification and temptation on every side, practicing self-control in both body and spirit is challenging, yet oh so rewarding. Galatians 5:23 says that, "Against such things there is no law." By exercising discipline and restraint, we live righteously above the pull of our lower nature and find true freedom. With self-control comes reduced stress, better health choices, and the ability to stay focused on higher priorities like family, values, and purpose over fleeting pleasures. Joy is found in mastery over temptation and a clear mind at peace. Joy, as we've discussed, true joy emerges from living according to godly principles rather than in temporary earthly joys alone. But the Bible also encourages us directly to pursue joy. Nehemiah 8:10 instructs us to eat, drink, and be merry. Isaiah 61:10 says, I delight greatly in the law, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. When we make choices that honor God and others, joy arises naturally from a conscience at rest. Cultivating joy as an attitude sees life's blessings clearly despite times of waiting or struggle, and finds light even in darkness. Joy is an unshakable confidence that God's promises are true. Faith, at its core, faith means complete trust in God's promises, plans, and provisions, even when we don't see them yet with our physical eyes. It gives us the ability to walk through life's uncertainties and troubles with an unshakable peace and hope. As Romans 15:13 says, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. When we cast all our cares on God and rely on his eternal perspective beyond the temporary, it breeds courage to face each day and pathway to deeper meaning through obedience. Joy abounds for those who fix their eyes on God and walk by faith, not by sight. Peace, knowing you are unconditionally loved, forgiven, and accepted by God, no matter your past failures or others' judgments, gives a deep sense of tranquility and calm. Isaiah 26:3 promises, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Having an eternal perspective that sees beyond earthly troubles to the hope of eternity brings supernatural peace that surpasses all understanding, like Paul describes in Philippians 4:6-7. As we counsel each other to let the peace of Christ rule in our hearts, joy is the outflow of an heart at rest, even in troubling times, through the Prince of Peace. Goodness. Striving to be goodness in character and to spread goodness in our influence cultivates joy as well. As Jesus taught, a good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. Luke 6:45. When we cherish integrity, honor, and truthfulness, and uplift others through compassion, we experience inner contentment. Spreading small acts of goodness like kindness brings expanded joy. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Luke 6:38. Joy emerges from doing our small part to spread goodness for others to reap as well. Hope and faith. At the root of true joy is unshakable hope and faith in God, not in temporary matters or shifting earthly outcomes, but in his perfect, saving, redemptive plan. As Paul says in Romans 15:13, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. When we cast our cares upon God and rely on his eternal perspective, it breeds courage to face each day and a pathway to deeper meaning through obedience to his will. Faith sees what hope cannot see yet, trusting what it cannot touch. Like an anchor for the soul, Hebrews 6:19, hope and faith steady us against life's storms. Knowing with full assurance that nothing can separate us from God's love provides joy that weathers any trial. Whether sickness or suffering, fear or failure, we can lift our eyes above the waves to catch glimpses of God's faithfulness through history and his sure promises for glory. With eternity in view, earth's troubles seem but light and momentary afflictions, training us for an exponential reward. Even in suffering, our hope in Christ transforms sorrow to joy as we carry out his purpose. Joy emerges not from escape from pain, but from having God walk with us through it, strengthen our faith through it, use it for good. We glory in our sufferings as partners with Christ to lift others. Hope invites us to see with eyes of faith the beauty Christ is cultivating through pruning, growth where else there'd be barrenness, healing where wounds might fester. So faith and hope are not denial, but vision, seeing past tribulation's darkness to resurrection's dawn. They give perspective to rejoice always in all things. Each struggle and victory glorifies not ourselves, but the God of hope who fills you with all joy and peace. May this hope anchor our souls steadfast through every storm, come what may. Friends, in closing, I hope I've conveyed how cultivating Christ-like attributes of love, kindness, patience, joy, hope, faith, and more through daily choices and attitudes, in dependence on God's sovereign grace and spirit, truly leads to a deep inner joy and peace that the world cannot diminish. Whether in good times or trials, an intimate relationship with Jesus transforms us from the inside out to radiate His light. Through accepting His sacrifice, we receive His righteousness and can walk boldly into each day assured of His unconditional acceptance, forgiveness, and love for us. That security and purpose in God allows joy to bubble up and overflow in how we love and serve others. My prayer is that we would all seek to nurture Christ's fruit in our lives through reading His Word, prayer, fellowship, and living purposefully for His glory. In so doing, we experience the fullness of abundant life He offers both today and forevermore. Let us go forth rejoicing in the hope we have,